Oh, I thought there was music. I was ready to dance. How unfortunate. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I'm sure everybody is a little bit tired. It's been a long morning. But I'm here to talk about a group, or to talk for a group that is very energetic, that is young people. And I will tell you why I'm talking about young people is that of the 7+ billion people that reside in this world, about half of them, or more than half of them, are below the age of 30. And 1.7 billion of them are between the age of 10 and 24. I know some of us as adults go, eesh, can you imagine a world full of young people? But it provides opportunities, it also provides challenges. And the opportunities is that with these high numbers, young people should be at the center of development if we are to achieve the sustainable development goals. Young people are survivors. I don't call people victims. I call people survivors, because if you call people victims, it means they're helpless. They are at the bottom of, there's nothing they can do. Young people, we know, survive on the streets of the slums in Delhi, just like they survive on the streets of the slums in Brazil. We know young people survive social cultural practices in the rural areas of South Africa, in the rural areas of Cambodia, in the rural areas of Mali. We also know that young people survive from poverty, regardless of where they are, whether they are poor in the US, whether they are poor in the UK. They are survivors. And so let's look at them as survivors. And if we call them survivors, that provides an opportunity for them to make a meaningful contribution to development. Young people are innovative. I don't have to repeat that. We saw it at this SwitchPoint. We saw young people here from storytelling to social entrepreneurship to technology. So, but let me tell you about innovation that is outside the walls of SwitchPoint. In my work, I get to travel, and at some point at a trading center, I found a group of young men, and they were all busy, and there was a lot of energy and laughter and everything. And I thought, oh, I wonder what they're doing. And you know what I saw? A snooker table made of mud, with the stick and with the balls, made of just mud. And I thought, how innovative. You can't afford to buy it, but you are using the locally available materials to create a game for yourself. And that's innovation. Young people are mobilizers, and I think that's something that is social media. Those that have social media, those that are without, if you want to send a word out in any community in the rural areas, you send young people. The message will go out very, very fast and very quickly. I remember when I started my school, my education, the announcement for the community used to be made at the school. Go and tell your parents there is a meeting in such a place. So they can mobilize community. Young people can mobilize other young people. Young people can mobilize adults to speak up on behalf of communities. So those are some of the attributes of young people. It doesn't always happen, and sometimes it happens. But I want to come back to this SwitchPoint. I want to come back to what I've heard from yesterday. I heard the word collaboration. I heard the word inclusive. I heard the word coordination. I also heard the word partnerships. I heard the word participation. I heard the words ask people what they want. I think if we take those and all the technology or the innovation and put those words into practice, it's not so much the what. The what is very clearly defined, is the how. The how do we get to those young people living in rural Zimbabwe, where I grew up? How do we get to the young people that are in the slums of Nairobi? How do we get to the Kennedys that we saw here yesterday? For them to make a meaningful contribution to sustainable development. I also heard the word education yesterday. And education for me is math, science, chemistry, the dreaded biology, and here and there. I have come across a lot of health workers, for instance, who didn't know that their work had anything to do with the Millennium Development Goals. And I think that's something that we should challenge, especially for this huge part of the population, which is youth. In schools and wherever, they need to understand about the Sustainable Development Goals and what they mean to them as individuals, what they mean to them in their communities. One of the things I think that we can unleash just by making them understand is that we can unleash the energy young people have. We can unleash the voices they have in numbers, numbers that will benefit us years to come. We can also unleash their passion and their honesty in wanting to make a difference to the world that is ultimately theirs. And we can also unleash the innovation that they have. We can change the snooker table made from mud to something more meaningful that will make a difference in terms of sustainable development. So it's that in young people that I think we need to unleash. I think we also need to connect young people with young people, just like we need to connect young people with older people. There's always the good in age. I can say that. But I think we need to connect the innovation. We need to connect the technology. We need to connect the ideas that have been presented here with young people wherever they are, regardless of what circumstance they are living in. And I want to end by just reading something I got out when I was preparing for this, and I need my glasses. That sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. And that includes their needs for education, their needs for basic human rights, and their needs for survival. And on that score, thank you very much. Okay, I'm no longer youth. I was asked to make some announcements. Enjoy your lunch and continue to network. Think about connecting, making those connections, and enjoy the micro labs this afternoon. If you have not selected the micro lab, some of you might have come today, please go to the table at the back and select which micro lab you want to go to, and you'll be directed to where it will be held. We will be back in the amphitheater outside at 3 o'clock for the closing ceremony. Please don't miss it. Don't miss this closing of this spectacular 2 days. And because we are running a little late, because some of us spoke more than the time we allocated, we are a little bit behind, so we will start the micro labs for this afternoon at 1:45 instead of 1:35. Enjoy your lunch.